So you might want to specify what type of gate it would be, like a fully, a gate that would obstruct not just vehicles, but.
To me, it would cost a whole lot more to do that, and to put in a section and finish off the section would just be definitely less expensive. But if they want to go ahead and do that, if they want to put in lock gate and all of that and go through all of that process, that's up to them. Because they do have a strip of pavement back there that would essentially be rendered useless. I mean, not totally, but it certainly would be in that realm.
So if you wanted to give them the option of either a gate or completing the fence, then you would just write it that way and say that you shall either install a gate, that would approve, it would be of a form and appearance approved by the city, or you shall just complete the fence with similar materials than what's already there. And then depending on what they choose to do, we would take a look at what's submitted, and then if it's a gate that, substantially blocks access for people, then.
And we can leave that to you.
Right.
Okay.
Yep. And just to address one last thing, you can, just because, Loom or some other applicant wasn't required to do a certain thing, doesn't mean you can't require someone else to do it. With 3 or 4 at least of these facilities, we've had discussions with them about fencing,
right,
or combination of fencing and
including
landscaping. And so you can, require them to do certain things with respect to screening and fencing and landscaping and everything else that just based on the nature of that specific property. So that's not an unusual thing to do.
Right. And I'll go back to the fact that this is a non-conforming lot, so we're trying to make it as safe and as secure as we possibly can under the circumstances.
I would, most of this we've been talking about, where the dumpster is, the loading area is, it's pretty much off limits to public.
Right.
And
Right.
if you open up a whole other avenue to get to the back of the building, it creates a.
Yeah, it would have to be a gate that would be, I guess, for employees only, or something like that. You can do a card system or whatever.
A static gate.
You can do it a lot of different ways, but that's their option, I think, in my opinion.
Maybe just fence it off now, and if they work a deal with the new owners of that property to get a pass through, then.
Well, they've got a pass through right now, so it's.
Just fence it off and down.
Can you clarify where this section of the
Yeah,
fence is
it's to the
missing?
back of the property, and if you go Speedway, and there's that strip mall right there, and if you go on the, what would that be, the west side of that, the road, there's a driveway that actually goes around Three Brothers, if you would, goes around there, and it goes back, and it goes all the way back to the corner of their property. And it's a driveway. I can't explain it any other way. It's a driveway where you can park your car. And there's ample room there to park and turn around, do those sorts of things. But beyond that, it doesn't go anywhere. It stops right there, correct? It stops right there.
They have the dumpster out there.
Yeah,
too, so.
yeah, they've got a dumpster out there, and my thought is to make it safe and secure for everybody, and the easiest way to do it is simply to put the fence up. If at some point they want to do a gate with a card for employees only to get in and out, that's their decision. Frankly, I wouldn't, but that's up to them.
Doesn't Mike use that strip for his employees? His delivery people park right there, and then the trash truck goes back there.
Yeah.
And I think halfway through it, there's concrete barriers. It's not a throughway. It hasn't been for years.
No, it's not a throughway.
So I don't think a fence is an unreasonable expectation. I think if you do a gate, then you gotta talk to Mike and whoever else is
Right.
gonna lease
Right.
those places and say, hey. here's
But
a
if they
delivery.
want to go through that expense and that trouble, that's up to
Yeah, because
them.
Mike's only got those.
Because they own that property.
5 or 6 spots up front for his
Right,
in-restaurant customers, so
Right.
he uses the back for his delivery people.
yeah, exactly. Yes, Kevin?
We'll put up a fence.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you for that decision.
I was just confused what
Okay.
it was.
Solves that problem. Okay, so where are we at? I'm sorry, I lost my train of thought.
Let me get back up.
Oh, that's right, you were going through the
We're going through the specific special land use.
adult use
standards.
marijuana standards.
Yep, so that was item J. Item K, the owner or licensee shall maintain clear and adequate records and documentation demonstrating that all cannabis and cannabis products have been obtained from and are provided to other permitted licensed operations. The city can examine, monitor, and audit such records, etc. The applicants provided an inventory and record-keeping plan with narrative regarding product inventory control. They obviously use the statewide monitoring system metric to maintain inventory. And the plan, without going through the entire thing, it discusses steps to ensure inventory tracking, training, product tagging, audits, compliance with other LARA regulations. So as a condition of approval, if you are inclined to approve this, that I think we put this on all of these, the condition that says the city can examine, monitor, and audit records as a condition of approval. Item L on this list, all necessary building, electrical, plumbing, and mechanical permits shall be obtained. So this standard generally does not apply because they're not going to be, growing or harvesting any marijuana on the site. Then the last one, just states that if there's a conflict between this ordinance and the act, that the rules of the act would control, which would also be addressed as a condition of approval. So under the recommendation, we had three kind of discussion items here, which I think have been generally addressed: lighting, parking, and traffic. So at this point, it would be up to the planning commission to make a decision. If you're inclined to approve it, we have listed off 17 conditions.
Hold on. We have not accepted these,
Correct.
so we need to accept these first.
Okay.
And we need to have public hearing. So, commissioners, questions first. This is on the adult use marijuana establishment special land use standards B through M.
Did they address the landscaping that would be completed? Did they get that correctly?
There would have to be as part of the.
Yeah, so we would, when we get, if we get to this point, we would include that as a condition of approval.
Anything else, commissioners? Public, any comments on the adult use marijuana establishment special land use standards B through M? Seeing none then, I will make a motion that we accept the adult use marijuana establishment special land use standards with conditions that we have outlined here for B through M. Is there a second?
I'll second.
And is there further discussion? Seeing none, Sue?
Commissioner Cadwalder,
Yes.
Commissioner Chambers,
Yes.
Commissioner Ellis,
Yes.
Commissioner Shrabbin,
Yes.
and Chair Barker.
Yes. Okay, Andy. Recommendations.
Okay, so if the planning commission is inclined to approve the application, we had a list originally of 17 conditions. We proposed 3 more, which I've been working on during your deliberations here. So the 3 that I would add to your list would be number 18. The applicant shall submit a copy of the 3-year lease for at least 18 spaces located directly to the south of the subject property for review and approval by the city. Such parking area and the conditions of the lease shall become a part of this special land use approval, and any change to the terms of the agreement shall be subject to the approval of the city and may require an amendment to the special land use permit. Number 19, prior to the issuance of an operating license, the applicant shall install required landscaping and finish the driveway in accordance with the approved site plan, although I should say and parking area. And then number 20, the applicant shall, we're just going to require the applicant to just complete the fence.
Yes.
And not remove the gate, okay. So then we'll say the applicant shall
Per the M.
complete the fence along the western property line, period. So those would be the 3 additional conditions that we would add to. So the other, I guess just for the interest of completeness, we have 17 conditions that are opposed. Normally, these generally reflect what's in the ordinance and the conditions that the city imposes on every special land use. So pay their fees, get permits, submit any missing site plan items, which I don't think there's any left there. They need to provide an ADA accessible parking space. They'll need a permit for the sign, they'll need a license from the city, an operating license for the city, continually maintain landscaping buffers and green belts. Doors and windows shall remain closed. No sales of alcoholic beverages or tobacco products. Comply with the act and the rules promulgated thereunder. And that's it, along with 8-3.
Did we include the striping in the parking lot and the camera?
No, we can add that though.
I guess the number 18 on the parking.
Yeah, so we'll just say that these
Striping and the signage to turn left.
the spaces.
Since they're doing a lease, they can put every sign they want up there.
So we'll add here that these 18 spaces shall be striped and signed for use by Iconic Lowell, and signage shall be installed that directs traffic north toward Main Street.
Then under landscaping, I would say 19 for the landscaping or
Mhm.
camera.
Yes, so the camera would monitor the 18 spaces.
Yes.
Okay.
Primarily.
Shall put that under 18 too.
Okay. It also provides security for their customers.
So we'll just say that these spaces shall be monitored by the applicant via a security camera. Be acceptable to the city.
Okay, I'll make the motion that we accept the Iconic Wellness and Provision Center special land use with the following 20 conditions as written. Do I have a second?
I'll support it.
And discussion? Sue, voice vote, please.
Commissioner Cadwalder,
Yes.
Commissioner Chambers,
Yes.
Commissioner Ellis,
Yes.
Commissioner Schraven,
Yes.
and Chair Barker.
Yes. And with that, I will close the public hearing portion as well. Thank you, gentlemen. Ladies. Thank you.
Thank you.
Our next, we have no new business, so staff report, Sue,
I have nothing further.
Angie,
Nothing further.
commissioners, Dave?
Oh, it's up to me now? Oh, I got one thing. What could we do to get some boat docks for pontoons down on the river?
Ooh, don't know.
I'm just throwing that out there.
Mr. Mayor?
We should go.
Any suggestions?
Well, we need some places to dock some boats down here.
I'll find out.
Okay, let us know.
City and probably Eagle, I would guess.
Yeah.
Combination.
There was a discussion too of the Unity condo people chipping in on that as well.
Yeah, they were
I
doing
believe.
kayak.
They're doing kayak racks, but
Right,
if we did it with time, did it all at once, it'd be cheaper. So
yeah.
I'll talk to Todd and then I'll find out about.
Yeah, just some of the park have people, a lot of people dock up and down
Yeah.
here and there, but it'd be nice to have a spot.
Right, couldn't agree more.
Also, this here is a public citizen.
Then you can,
Fine.
then you can start charging for them and selling
Well,
popcorn,
I didn't go that far, but
snow cones.
Cadwalader canoe rentals, yeah.
Martin?
I'm good, thanks.
Tony?
I have two things. Any more discussion or any more ideas on cleaning some of the vegetation, dredging that area out?
That's an Eagle question.
Behind where the transformer is, you mean? Right at
Just
the
the-
river's edge there?
Where, so you can have more pontoons?
So we had a bunch of people volunteered and set up to do it after the transformer fire. Pull those trees out, and then they were gonna pull the chain link fence out. And Eagle came through and said, you can't touch it unless we know about it.
I meant
So,
in the river.
yeah, you can't get anywhere near the river without Eagle saying it's okay. But
That's
I gotta tell you, there was a fisherman down there on Sunday morning, and he was pulling up a fish, and he had more weeds
Yeah.
than he had more poundage in weeds, I should say, than fish.
Check my boat prop.
We had a gentleman who'd like to say something, thanks.
Oh, thank you. You had asked for a copy of the parking lease. I think I emailed it to Ms. Ellery
Yes.
before.
It's in the packet too.
Okay. So if you have been provided with it, then I'll take this copy.
Okay, all right,
Thank
you're
you.
all set. Thank you.
I just know the water is a huge resource, and especially Thursday nights, I know several years ago, people would bring their pontoons up, but vegetation is growing and overwhelming the waterway. You know, we gotta address it soon before it's too late, I guess.
And then I nominate you, Tony, to,
I'm glad you said Tony.
Eagle to,
It's not, we can reach out to him.
There's only 3 more concerts too, so you can work
Yeah.
fast.
my second thing is, I don't know, I'm always trying to read that when we're talking about the different districts and placement of businesses, and can we get like a laminated 11 by 14, a couple of them, and set them here?
Sure.
Because that would,
because that shows our floodplain, that shows our
yeah, I'm always like,
C2,
I
C3.
can, well, and I can, that map has changed quite a bit, so I can run a large copy of that in a printer and get it laminated, bring it over.
yeah, just have several right here, so when we're talking, we can actually,
Look at it.
yeah.
Couple of small.
I'm looking at it on my laptop, but it's like, I don't know what districts are what. you
Uh-huh.
know,
Right. Yep, we can do that. Yeah, the zoning map looks quite a bit different from that one now. The color scheme is different and everything else. We made a lot of changes to it a number of years ago.
That's all. That's all.
I have nothing to follow up with that.
Question for Sue. We are scheduled to do the 3 entities for the planning commissions to meet here. I believe it's in
Yes.
October, correct?
Yeah, it's in October sometime. I'll check into that and then I'll send out a save the date for everybody.
Okay, appreciate that. And Andy, you're more than welcome to be here as well, obviously.
Okay, thank you. I haven't in the past. Virgin's Township has a new zoning administrator. I don't know if you usually want to have a new person now. I'm the planner for them too. And they have some activity going on there. They made some changes, so I will attend if it is desired.
Okay, they hosted the last one, I believe. I think they hosted the last one, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, and I know, I think it's our turn.
Which they had, by the way, they had lobster there and shrimp.
But yeah,
Mr. Mayor, we need our budget higher.
You invite me, I'll get you whenever you want.
we gotta show off their new dates now. They have a new township hall that's open. I think it's open now.
It wasn't a turn of COVID, wasn't it?
I will say they did have nice hot cider donuts. They really did. And that was honest, yes, that was good. So anyway, that's all I have. Thanks, everybody. We'll see you in September. Enjoy the Labor Day weekend. And motion to adjourn, please. All in favor?
Aye.
We stand adjourned.